hope you are having a fabulous day. My name is Reggie, and today I'll be sharing with you my August wrap-up. So, if you remember, in my August TBR, I said I was going to read all of the books, and I had no qualms about it, and I was certain I was going to do it. And then life got in the way, and unfortunately I had a family emergency, had to fly out on a whim, and basically didn't read anything for 2 whole weeks. So basically my TBR completely fell by the wayside, but I still managed to read 8 books, which is pretty good. The first thing I read in the month was A Slippery Slope, which is the 10th book, I believe, in the series of Unfortunate Events series by Lemony Snicket. I, of course, listened to this on audiobook because I'm listening to all of these on audiobooks, and I did enjoy it. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I still found this to be part of the plateau I was seeing in the series. The next book I read is The Vampire Academy by Richelle Mead, and this book was fabulous. I buddy read this with Ainsley over at Books and Things, and we both really enjoyed this. And I honestly did not expect to enjoy this book at all. I thought it was going to be very in the same style of the Lux series or the Selection series, where people told me it was light and fun, and I just did not like either of those too much. But I love this. It's not perfect by any means, but for what it is, it's so great, and I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. If you don't know, The Vampire Academy is about a best friend duo, Lissa and Rose. Lissa is a friendly and kind vampire called a Roy in this world, and Rose is a Dhampir, which is basically a half vampire, half human who is training to protect the Moroi vampires. So the 2 characters are in school during the story, thus the Vampire Academy. I'm not going to talk about it too much because I do want to do a review on the series when I'm finished with it, but I really did enjoy this first book in the installment. Next up, I finished Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 2nd book in the Throne of Glass series, and I gave this 3.5 out of 5 stars, which is an improvement from Throne of Glass, which I gave 3 stars. I did find this book to be much better than Throne of Glass, which in my opinion was mediocre to decent, but this book really built upon that. But I had a lot of issues and a lot of problems with Sarah's depiction of certain characters and ideas and things. I just didn't like it too much. I just feel like Sarah values very attractive men a lot over a lot of other things. The way the story went was completely predictable, but I did really enjoy it. I felt it built upon itself a lot better, and I do hope good things are to come from the rest of this series. Next up, I finished The Infinite Sea by Ricky Yancey. I was rereading this, and I did enjoy it immensely. I tabbed it up a little bit, not a lot, but I did enjoy this book just as much as I did the first time around, which I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it this time around because I enjoyed The Fifth Wave less than I did the first time around, but I enjoyed this about the same. And I do think that this book solidified for me that the reread was completely worth it because I got a lot more out of the story and what was actually happening this time around. And I appreciated the character of Ringer a lot more this time around. And I'm excited to get into the last star eventually. This is a post-apocalyptic story in which we follow a couple different perspectives, teenagers who are in different points in this post-apocalyptic world. What has made this so post-apocalyptic is aliens have invaded the Earth. They are attacking the humans in waves. So the first wave was an electromagnetic pulse that took away their power. The second wave was, I believe, a tsunami that wiped out, of course, the coastal cities and even the coastal states. I believe all of California was taken out by that. And then there's more waves such as diseases, blah, blah, blah. And the 5th wave, which is the first book in this trilogy, takes off in between the 4th and the 5th waves. I think it's really good because it gets into the mind of the characters and what they're doing in the situations. It's not as plot heavy as it is like kind of in their mind, but it is still plot heavy. There is a lot of twists and turns in this story, which was another reason why I wanted to reread these books. So I believe I gave this 4 out of 5 stars on the reread. And I told you I liked Vampire Academy. Well, I got kind of obsessed, and after that family emergency happened and I had to leave, I didn't want to read heavy books, so I decided to read some light books. And I read Frostbite by Richelle Mead, and then the ending of Frostbite made me immediately need to pick up Shadowkiss by Richelle Mead. I gave Frostbite 5 stars because I loved it, and I gave Shadowkiss 4.5 stars, I believe. I love this series so much. It's so much more than I expected from it, and I really enjoy the way the first story was kind of teenagery and a little annoying, but was really fun. And then this story kind of picks that up a notch and takes the story in completely different ways and makes it a little bit darker. And I just really like these books. And I will do a review on these, like I said, when I'm done with the entire series. So I'm not going to talk about them forever, but love them. I also read most of Blood Promise, which is the 4th book in the Vampire Academy series during the month of August. I did not finish it in August. I have finished it now, but I did finish it. I really like this one too, but not as much as the others in the series. Then I read books 11 and 12 in the series of Unfortunate Events, books being The Grim Grotto and The Penultimate Peril. And when I read The Grim Grotto, I was like, oh my gosh, that plateau is gone. This is my favorite book in the series. And then I read The Penultimate Peril and I was like, no, this is my favorite book in the series. So I'm very excited to finish the series up. I have one more book and it is called The End. So it is the end and it's very exciting. And I will read that one day. But it was very enjoyable. That was the last book I read in August though. So those were the 8 books I read this month. Not as great as I wanted. I didn't read all the books on my TBR by any means. I did say that the only way I wouldn't finish up my TBR is if I got completely sucked into the Vampire Academy and then read all the books. That happened, kind of, so whoops, but at least I knew what I was getting into. Anyways, that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you have read any of these books, comment down below and let me know what you thought of them. And subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you in my next video. Bye! Hello all, I hope you are having a fabulous day. My name is Reggie. Oh, my lights aren't on. Anytime I mention angels and angel fall, I call them aliens, so now I'm just confused and paranoid anytime I say either of them. Okay.